Okay, good morning. It is Sunday. This is the last day of market. This is the day when we hope everything sells, and it's usually the slowest day, but we shall see. We have record ticket sales today, and hopefully that's a good thing. I am wearing my new vest. There were a lot of you that commented. You were glad I got it, so I did. And let's give you a little tour. I did not clean up at the end of yesterday, so there's gonna be a lot of moving stuff around before the market starts. It is just after 9 a.m. right now. Okay, so we'll start what is the beginning by us by the cash wrap. So we have like the nice little jewelry add-ons. Those do quite well for us in general. I may have a pop-up show to sell off jewelry after the market. We'll see. Not this week. I'm too tired this week. Okay, so this was mostly coastal, but the big urchins, the big wooden fish, those things have gone. I would love for our seahorse to go, but we've just had to fan this out a little bit more. I prep through the day so that things never look terrible. You always want a good experience for every buyer that comes through. Miss Liberty just sold online, so I got to take her down and ship her out. I'll ship her out tomorrow to a customer, but another Facebook sale. Yep, the mushroom, we got to take that down this morning. The Sue's hanging mushroom sold online last night as well, when I did some photo wrap up. So we still have some good stuff. I am very surprised that this ironstone hasn't sold. I know it's not in the best of condition, but it's really a nice pattern and it blends in well. So I'm surprised it hasn't sold, just like as a garden stack. I have it priced pretty inexpensively. It was nice that we sold a couple of these bigger, heavier pieces. They said they were going to use them as headboards, and that's such a great idea, I think, for like the guest room or what have you. My daughter has a guest room decorated, so I may, in her new house, so I may, suggest that to her as well. I think this is the last of all of the framed art that I did with canvases and thrifted frames. So you can see there's a lot that has left to this. We sold 5 side tables, so we sold quite a lot of those today. I've dropped prices on furniture today. I don't know if that ever actually makes a difference. I kind of believe that if they want it, they'll buy it, but at the same time, I don't really want to take it home. So I don't want to be in the business of doing furniture anymore. I want to mostly stick with the smalls, upcycles, thrifted, those kinds of things. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We did sell some of the vintage patterns, and there's definitely stuff missing here. All of this is still here, unfortunately, but I honestly had planned on selling most of that on Etsy anyway. Disappointed, a little kid dresser is still here. I think it's darling, but again, I think people definitely had less spending money this market, and I talked about that a lot last night in the video that'll come out at 10 today. So, well, I guess by the time you're watching this, because I'm not live. All right, so jewelry is a hot mess, and our little opening table when you come in, a little fella, and this poor bench has been out in the rain, but it lived on our front porch, and getting rained on was not unusual for it anyway. So it still was a nice bench. I'm going to drop the price on it as well as the arches today as well, and see how it goes. And I haven't talked about the herborist cabinet yet. We have been selling a ton off of it, believe it or not. This is one of those things that makes it easy to sort of style and restyle throughout the day with all the cubbies, but we have really sold a lot out of it, and that's been very fortunate. It's been nice. And we also had stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff in there in the cubbies, so they didn't necessarily have to pull from the top. They could pull from inside the cubbies. On the table, have sold again a lot off of here. The sunflower pillow sold online last night too, so it's coming down and needs to go in the truck so that it doesn't get resold today. So it's been a good weekend. Now it's a matter of refluffing so that everything looks good for buyers today, and we'll wish for the best. Hey friends.
Hello.
So it's been a couple days since market. We needed some time.
We're rested now.
Yeah, feeling much better.
I feel much better too.
Yeah, so we did some thrifting on Monday and Tuesday.
Boy, did we.
Yeah, there's glass all over this table.
All kinds of things. I got this little funky turkey over here. I got a little angel over here. We got all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. So we'll be bringing that to you on our Whatnot show on... We're going to do it Saturday because Sunday, which are usually our show is on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we're going to do it on Saturday this week because of Easter.
Because it is Easter. Happy Easter, by the way.
Right. And we want to spend time with our family on Easter. And we'll hang out with you guys on Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. So we wanted to do our final wrap up about the show. Kind of talk about how Sunday was and then how... we perceived the whole show overall.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, starting with Sunday. Sunday definitely showed that the ticket sales were for more people because more people came out. Mm-hmm. So they definitely got the crowds. Mm-hmm. Sales-wise, well, I'm not going to complain about sales because we got some pieces of furniture out.
We did.
We got furniture
especially out. Pieces we really wanted to, like the big bench.
Yeah, we got a few larger pieces out, which was really, really nice.
Yeah. The bench had been mine on my front porch on our last house, but this house doesn't have a big front porch, so...
It needed a good home, and that woman loves it, and I know she's going to love it, and I was excited for her.
Yeah, we didn't sell it for what we wanted to sell it for, but we sold it, and more importantly, it's gone from us.
It's gone.
It will no longer be on the trailer or in the way.
No
yeah, because you would say in the warehouse, but really just in the way.
It was big.
So how did you feel about... So when we had talked about closing on Saturday, we were told it would be like a record-breaking crowd on Sunday.
Yeah.
And did you feel like that?
Well, from what I recall, on Sundays, there was always a slow start. You know, we all go to church on Sundays and then come out, and so by noon we'd see everything pick up and people would hit the food and everything. But I felt from opening on, it was fairly steady. It wasn't like huge crowds. I mean, we're not Disneyland.
It's true. So I'll say from a numerical perspective that...
That's right. You crunched the numbers.
I crunched the numbers.
Meet and greet people.
That's right. There definitely were more people on a Sunday that I'm typically used to seeing.
That's true.
Sales were better than typical for a Sunday.
Which is good.
But only minimally better.
Well,
we usually do...
But they weren't slower.
No, we usually do 8 to 1,200 on a Sunday, and we did almost 1,500.
So that's not terrible.
So not terrible, not record-breaking.
I mean, we would love to have more.
You know, for us, not record-breaking. But I'm going to say that our fortune was much better than most.
Yeah, apparently it didn't work out well for everybody. I think some people did okay, and other people not so well. I don't know. Some of the feedback we've gotten... people just didn't seem happy. I think everyone's complaining that maybe there's too many vendors.
Yeah, so a lot of the vendors were complaining there was too many vendors. Customers were complaining that, from feedback that we got, that there were not enough vintage vendors. There was too many that were wholesale retail, which often
is usually us.
Yeah, it's usually us. I mean, we always have a kind of a mix of it. But this year we were almost exclusively vintage.
Yeah, we pretty much.
Yeah, except for the greenery and or a few things that were left over from last year. But this year we were almost exclusively vintage.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we did well.
Definitely had a lot of people stop and look at the glass. Mm-hmm. I would have liked to have seen more of the glass go.
But we did sell a fair amount.
But we did sell a fair amount. Mm-hmm. And oddly, only one item broke, and that's a good day. Oh, yeah, you broke one.
Yeah, 2 items
I wasn't
broke.
counting yours.
Yeah, 2 items broke.
But 2 items?
I broke one, a customer broke one.
That's not a bad day.
Nope.
Considering the amount of glass and the pottery table.
Yeah, and all the glass throughout. If you recognized how much glass we had, that's actually pretty good.
And we sold the bowls earlier, Friday, Saturday?
Friday. Mm-hmm.
And she sent us a video of her mom opening that. That was very exciting.
That was very nice. Yes, she was very excited.
Was extremely excited. So, anytime we can make customers happy is a good day in my book.
Yeah, and we met another vendor who wants lots of glass that we happen to have.
Oh yeah, she makes jewelry with all the beautiful
China.
China pieces. She makes pendants and jewelry things
And my youngest daughter's wedding was all of her dishes were China that we had accumulated, that we like kept accumulating before the wedding.
Antique China patterns that are all just beautiful flowers with the silver.
And so we have literally hundreds and hundreds of plates. And so we're going to get to offload some of that, which I'm excited about. We still have a lot of those plates. So we're going to get to offload that. So that's exciting for me. Okay, so last year, again, to recap, we did, at first I thought we did like 8,000 something, but then as I realized and re-listened to the videos again from last year, we did about $7,400 last year.
Okay. So we're right in line then.
So this year we did, so at market specifically, we did 5,723, but we did another $300 in sales to a vendor, another vendor that was greenery. So if we add that in, so that's $6,023.
Yeah, and then we did some online sales too from people who saw pictures.
Yeah, so
factored in.
Yeah, but I think that's already factored.
Oh, okay.
So we did about 6,000. So it is less than last year by about $1,400. But considering the weather,
oh yeah, we had Friday, Saturday was a little wet.
Even Sunday was a little wet.
It was blowy on Sunday too.
Yeah, I mean,
much nicer day. But
there were no people with. I should say no. There were very few people with wagons.
Yeah, that's a good sign when they come through and they've all got their wagons. They're ready to shop, and there were only a few people that had their wagons. They rallied their wagons, but not a lot.
And there were not a lot of moms with kids. Can you hit close?
Oh, let me get that. You and your battery.
There were not a lot of moms with kids who were, pushing the stroller and pulling the cart. And I honestly think it's because it was too cold, windy, and blustery.
It was a little bit of a chilly weekend, which is weird for Florida, but
And who wants? I mean, you don't necessarily want to take your kid out.
Our fall market was cool too.
It was, but I feel specifically like this was unusual for
this was
Florida.
Definitely unusual for Florida.
Oh my God, yawnies!
Don't start me.
Got the yawnies.
Don't start me. I'm sitting here looking at all the stuff on the table, and it's like I don't remember seeing that one before. And
So just to kind of run through some other data points that I enjoy looking at is on Friday we had 66 transactions for a total of $2,006. On Saturday we had 121 transactions for a total of $2,281. And on Sunday,
more earrings.
Lots of earrings.
More earrings.
And on Sunday, we had 67 transactions for a total of roughly $1,500. And dollars per sale, that means on Friday, it was an average of $30. On Saturday, it was an average of $19. And on Sunday, it was an average of $22.
Spend a little more.
So Friday still was our big spenders, not incredibly
despite
big.
the hurricane force wind. No.
Right? It's still, there were not the big spenders we are used to seeing.
It's true.
We did not have any, other than a couple pieces of furniture, we did not have multiple hundreds of dollars of sale, of high dollar, transactions. And our total sale across the whole weekend was $22.53. That was our average transaction total.
And we keep talking about, people are a little concerned about their economy, their personal household income and spending. I mean, Lord knows groceries are high. I mean,
yep,
unbelievably high.
At this point, for us, we didn't expect, our goal was only $5,000 this year. And last year, our low end goal was 5, our high end goal was 75. I didn't even have a high end goal. 5,000 was my high end goal. I realistically expected to do about 3,500 this weekend.
Wow.
So for me,
she was very stressed because we didn't seem to have a lot of stuff, but our booth looked fantastic.
It did. Somehow.
You did a great job.
Thank you. Somehow I did pull it all together. It felt very hodgepodge as we were packing it all up. And in my head, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make all this look good together. I don't know how I'm going to make all this look good together.
But we did get a lot of compliments on the vintage.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people said we need to see more of that at a market like that. I like the mix. I think the mix is nice. It shows what you can add into your home
to make it look like we had a couple of different styles set up in the booth that were more traditional, a little more farmhouse, a little more mid-century looking.
We had beach in the booth this year,
and
it sold this year
like crazy.
It sold.
And I tried to show how the vintage glass and stuff like that would fit into any of those decors.
Yeah.
And it really seemed to function well. People liked it, and they really could see that this was functional. And to some degree, I think there was that too, is people did buy a lot of functional pieces.
And I'm afraid, and it just a thought that popped into my head, and I'll get your opinion on it. We have the market coming up at Vintage Market Days in 2 months.
A month and a half, yeah.
A month, 6 weeks.
We won't be at that.
6 weeks. We don't do that one. But I'm wondering, did people weigh where they want to spend their money? I mean, we're going to go and visit it and see what the weekend is like there.
I think that's a possibility. I also think that Easter being
next weekend,
the weekend after this event, really shifted some perception of spending, because people were in the, so like the woman across the way, Blue Betty across the way, she said she sold a lot of kids' dresses.
Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, Easter Sunday, right? Easter Sunday need Easter clothes for the little ones, right?
So cute.
And I just think that they were buying less decor. Chicks, bunnies, eggs, they weren't there. I expected this to be tighter for a tighter budget than it actually was. So I was happy about that. I wasn't sure, and I brought our number down because we had so much glass, and I wasn't sure how it would do, but it did great.
People were very receptive to it.
They were.
I mean, I was really surprised at some of the larger sets that went out. Of just so much. It was very nice to see.
Yeah, and the younger people really seemed to embrace it.
Yes.
Even when it was like from stuff under that house that wasn't in good condition.
They love the little pieces, or we were finding things that they collect that they love. So I like that.
Yeah, I think they like the stories too about how we found it and stuff like that. So I think that was good. I think that this is going to be a down year overall.
Sadly, I think you're right.
It's just my expectation from being an election year, because it happens every election season. And I think there's other economic forces at work that are pushing spending. People just are they're wanting to hold on to their money a little more because they don't know what's going to happen. That uncertainty causes people to hold on to their money a little tighter.
It's true.
And part of that for us means we're pulling out of one of the booths at Great American this week.
Yes, we are. We're going to close off the one little part of the corner.
Yeah, what used to be our Dixie Belle section. We don't sell Dixie Belle anymore.
We're going to just cram everything into the couple spots that we have against the wall. So that we got to go do.
And we are seriously questioning if we are even going to maintain that.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a space. So if we need to have customers come in a few days a week, or we can, I don't know, I said I'd deliver. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we ship whatever we need to do. So, that's something that we're going to have to pan out. But rent is high, sales are not good in the store. Yeah. And
I'm not working for the store owner.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like right now. That's what it feels like. When we look at our numbers right now, that's what it looks like. We're working for the store.
You're supposed to own your own business, and if you can't own your own business and make money, then it's time to rethink that. So
for us, we're recalibrating. This is stay above water this year, so that next year I think will be a great year. Yeah. Because some of that uncertainty will be gone, and we'll be able to kind of get back to normal spending, hopefully. But hopefully. But in the meantime, I think we're going to continue on the path that we are on right now. We are enjoying the whatnot sales and finding the vintage, and that's fun. And I reopened our Etsy store. Nothing's in it yet, but we reopened the Etsy store, so I can start loading it this week.
We're getting ourselves organized so we can start doing that. We got Johnny working hard to get us on shelves and
Yeah,
easy
so we
to
can
gather
gather stuff better and get it all uploaded and photographed, and so you'll see us on. I think online sales for us this year is going to be kind of where we're all in.
Yeah, and then a once a month warehouse sales for furniture and larger pieces, things that Melissa paints, and I might paint something. I
Could happen.
never know.
Could happen.
Never know.
And we'll see more DIY from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Yep, it is. So, okay, well, that is our show wrap up. We're happy. We, you know, I'm going to say the people at Diamond D make the show worth doing, even
they're
if
fabulous.
you don't have a good weekend.
They're
We did have a
fabulous.
good weekend. But for me, even if you don't have a good weekend, they make the show worth wanting to go.
And I know many of the vendors are going to be at the next market, at Vintage Market Days. Hey guys, go out there and support your vintage markets, your shows, your local marketplaces.
Shop small.
Shop small, man. These people are working hard for it.
Stay out of Hobby Lobby. They don't need your money.
They-
The small people need your money.
Yeah, these people are busting their
Yeah.
butts to try and...
The small owners need your money to stay afloat. The bigger companies will make it one way or another. So, you know, be sure you're...
just keep raising our prices anyway.
Yeah, so just spend your money where it matters, which is with the smaller
family,
local
man.
people. Yeah.
So spend it on the family businesses.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to go take care of some of this glass.
I gotta pack up some of the stuff that we've been buying.